Hello, 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 hello. Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing? Glad you're able to spend some time with your mother. Again, everyone, thoughts and prayers for Sterling and his mother. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Patrick. Glad it's on your daily prayer list, Patrick. Thank you for doing that. What else? Thank you for putting in all. We're not going to go through everything this morning. Sterling's putting in all the news. Good morning, Jacob. The jobless claims did drop. The initial jobless claims, the lowest it's been like in 3 years. But remember, it was also holiday week. Holiday week there. But that is, again, it's putting the Fed sort of in a bind. Although you did have the ADP numbers yesterday. Everything's a mess right now. Everything's a mess because there's no clear path, but they seems like they want to cut anyways. What else do we have going on here? I'm just going through the things, the information Sterling's put in here. What else? Good morning, Royal Palms. Bank of Japan is carrying out an assessment of the level of neutral interest rate. Well, they've lost control at this point. Oh, okay. Okay. Amazon explores cutting its ties with the U.S. Postal Service, building its own delivery network. Hasn't it already been doing that essentially in all areas? Wouldn't that be funny if then the USPS just collapses? Why don't we privatize the USPS? You know what'll probably happen? Amazon will build their own network and then the government will contract with Amazon for mail delivery. All right? And Amazon can just make a rule, hey, if you want your mail, you got to order something and we'll deliver your mail with whatever you order. There you go. And Amazon can have an even bigger footprint. Good morning. Good morning, Jake. I don't Dabo Yandy. I again, if you want to say good morning, you could also put in your name too, since it's all messed up now. If you're not a regular here, uh, market appears to be frozen, Jake, until PCE comes out tomorrow. Remember, those are PCE numbers from September. We're in December. Those are PCE numbers for September. Hey ho, let's go, holy holy. What else? Hey, Yogesh. Good morning. Good morning, OD Green. What is all this now? What is this? Clear that something behind the scenes is breaking. I think we're still gonna. That's why I'm looking at again. Hedges. I'm seriously looking at hedges again. Okay. Good morning, Balaji. Good morning, David. Good morning, Daniel. Awesome. Good morning, Heinrich. Curious who they arrested a pipe bomber. All right. Good morning, Tony. Let's see. Challenger job cuts dropping from prior, lower than forecast. Initial jobless claims a lot lower than consensus in prior, 191, again, holiday week. Continuing jobs claims better than consensus, better than previous, but still very elevated. We got factory orders out at 10 a.m. Again, very light day. 4 and 8 week bill auction. Bowman speaking. That's about it. And tomorrow we got PCE back from September. And we have the current Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, and that is for December. That is, again, done by University of Michigan. What else do we have? We have the rig counts tomorrow. But a lot of people, again, keying off tomorrow. Have FedVix calls order in place closer to 15. Well, good, you're considering some hedges too. So, S&P 500. You got Meta. What? Someone just came out on Meta. Zuckerberg plans up to 30% cuts for its metaverse efforts. What a joke that was. You even renamed your company into Meta and the metaverse. Now let's cut and look at that. Stock up 6%. Stock up 6%, sort of leading the mega caps higher this morning. You got Walmart, Costco down, Micron down. Well, most chips are down now. It's a rotation back into Nvidia. Meta to stop metaverse, and yeah, moving on up. Let's get rid of the metaverse. Let me refresh this now since there you go. Com services, which Meta is in, is up 147 basis points. Everything else is routinely flat. Basic materials lagging at down 22 basis points. Fed watch, remember, for 6 days, next Wednesday, close to 90% for the cut. The cut's getting fully priced in again. Above 90% is roughly fully priced in. Fear and greed index back. Oh, we're within shooting distance of all-time highs, and we're back to finally fear mode. Well, at least the price breadth continues to improve. I don't know how they're coming up with this stuff. Look at this big drop, and how's that still in fear mode on put call options? They got to tweak their model a bit. Safe haven demand, extreme fear. Oh, boy. Schiller PE 40.45 in the dirt cheap market. S&P 500 minus Mag 7 a smart strategy moving forward, considering a potential AI bubble. I think it's going to get down to, we're going to rotate back to more individual stock picking again. And yeah, you can do S&P 500 minus. It's not just a Mag 7. I mean, I'd eliminate like the top 30 stocks. I need like the S&P 500 versus the top 30 stocks. Or you can always consider on pullbacks the equal weighted, not the cap weighted. You can always consider equal weighted. We had Salesforce. I think they missed on revenue, but they were up a bit. Snowflake, C3 AI yesterday, Kroger this morning, Dollar General, Hormel Foods. If you have any of those earnings handy, if you're still around, Sterling, if you could put them in. By the way, this is going to be a little shorter live stream. I have to actually run out to some appointments this morning, so I got to wrap it up a little earlier. Right now, the S&P finally overnight. So you have moved from sectors to individual stock swing trades, and again, I'm focused, instead of going in next year, especially more and more next year, going to be looking for individual stock plays. And I've already talked about which ones I'm really going to be potentially keen on. Again, especially things that pay dividends and have been beaten down, some value stuff that are decent companies, rather than just broad market. Broad market, yeah, futures will still on a swing basis be traded, but for a longer term holding things, it will be more of the course stock plays. Now, S&P 500, there's your 4-hour. I'm still watching the 4-hour rotation zone. We base sideways all overnight. 8 pushing the price up, finally breaking out now. The bottom of the rotation zone, 68.45 area. We dipped below it yesterday, and then the strong bounce. Keep an eye on this 4-hour rotation zone. I've been saying that for a few days now. And we broke out. You see this level here. You see where it was the key resistance area. 68.55. Tested with support now, with the rising rotation zone pattern I absolutely love. Okay, because you get the retest with support, and then you get the rotation zone just rising with that price. Next key area, 6,900. Not just because it's 6,900, because it's the 87.5 harmonic. And there's a fair amount of resistance up here. And we have the PCE numbers coming out. So I am not getting greedy, but that 6,900 is a really attractive area. Same thing. If we do pull back, let me give you the bigger pullback areas. If we did break below the 4-hour rotation zone, I'm focused on 68.25 area. At this point, the major key line in the sand is closer to the 62.5. Is closer to 62.5, closer to 6,800. On the NASDAQ, there we go, breaking out with the metaverse. Interesting enough, the Qs have already, remember the Qs, I was on Futures Edge yesterday, don't know if anybody caught it. Again, the Qs are in potential double top territory and already ticked off the 75% harmonic. The futures have not. 25,775. So what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can get there today ahead of the PCE numbers. And there's a fair amount of resistance up there. There is a fair amount of resistance up there. Hey, Christoph, how are you doing? Thank you for putting in the Sterling's got CRM, Salesforce. Yes, I thought it missed on revenue. Stock up. Dollar General was a beat. Stock up close to 5.5%. Kroger missed on revenue, also stock down 3.04. You're studying ES swing trades, but cannot figure out how to enter without massive stop risk. Would love a lesson how to enter with. I need some more specifics on that, and not today because I cannot get into that today. But maybe we can talk about it a bit tomorrow. Build-A-Bear. Did I miss Build-A-Bear earnings? Missed on revenue. Stock down 7.67. Looks like the bear is winning in Build-A-Bear. So again, my next target, 25,775. Massive resistance up here. You see all these topping areas. If it does blow through there, not necessarily today, you will relieve a lot of this potential selling pressure up here. And the next key target would be the 26,087, 87.5. Again, 4-hour rotation zone. If it shows up, come on. That's the little minor support area I'm watching is 25,600. Then the bottom four rotation zone is about 25, 545, 550 area. But if we did get some bearish news, I'm then looking closer to 2,500 for a bigger pullback. Good morning, Ted. Teddy ball game. SAIC beat miss. Stock up 6.25%. Dow. Again, the metaverse is not part of the Dow, so that's just sitting there positive. But we ticked off the 75 yesterday. Ticked off the 75, putting, still officially in double top territory. Again, these may never trigger, but we're there. The Dow, watching the 4-hour rotations. I'm watching the 4-hour rotation zone pretty much across the board. And if you're trading spiders and Qs, I'm watching the 1-hour rotation zone. I talked about that yesterday. The 1-hour rotation zone in the spiders and Qs is equivalent to the 4-hour roughly on the futures. So next47 target is 48,185. The major support level for the Dow, the minor support level is about 47,750. Major is closer to 47,550. The Russell, which again took off yesterday with re-solidifying more rate cuts out of the little channeling pullback, rising rotation zone staying above key support. Still, the magnet price is 25.33. And that's all we have to say about it. Rotation zone, same thing here. 4-hour rotation zone, even though it dipped below it with that channeling pullback, watching it again. Now, if it starts losing about 24.90, I'm going to it's going to probably be a pause in the Russell, at least through tomorrow, at least through the PCE tomorrow. VIX continuing to drop. VIX, again, I'm looking very close to about 1560. Let's see, though. Let's see if we get that drop. The DAX looks like it's trying to break out. But remember, we've been trapped between the 200 and the 50. I needed to see a close above 23,930 to start confirming that. The yields trying to move up a bit. There's been some key resistance right about 4.1. Still watching this very closely. The 30-year, still double top pattern here now. Double top pattern. But we don't have the confirmation on the massive inverse head. We have the confirmation, but not the official trigger, I should say. Keep it, if I don't care if you trade yields or whatever, keep an eye on this chart, especially if they do. I mean, I guess we're not going to hear the pick announcement till, but again, it changes all the time. Not the pick announcement. I guess it's been decided on, but if it is Hassett, watch this. That will be a pure political Fed then. Crude finding still resistance at the top of the channel line. But my new breakdown point can't do anything unless we start getting momentum or start closing below 58.60. Gold taking a little breather here. Gold, there is a potential double top, again, for a pullback only, not for a short. First target is around the bottom of the rotation zone on the daily basis. But we're getting a little pause in metals. Silver, this is a turn very sloppy. Let me count this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Yeah, so it's confirmed but not triggered. Again, that's not a shortable double. And it's at this point way too sloppy. I'm just pulling it off, watching roughly this 56 to 56.12 area if we do pull back. Copper also take a little pause up here. Oh, so metals pausing, platinum pausing. Dollar index confirmed the double top. Would I be shorting the dollar? No. I'm using this for pullbacks. Why? Because you have the stronger double bottom already triggered. The only way I'm interested in dollar shorts is if that double bottom gets invalidated. But the double top, I'll be looking especially back to this 97, 90 to about 98 area for support. Euro triggering the double bottom pattern. I'm really focused on the first target, 117.40 area. Yields taking a break in Japan. Not the 10-year, the 30-year is. The 10-year just keeps on going. The spiders ticked off the 87.5 pretty much yesterday. 684.91. The exact level is 684.84. Looking for the gap up today. So very, very key support. Oops, shoot. Very key support coming in about 683.80. Other than that, there is still a gap. The next magnet price in the spiders is this gap left behind from the 29th of October, 687.39. For all these Spidey traders, there is some other resistance around 6.8, closer to 686, 685.85 intraday. The Qs, which did tick off to 75%, there is key resistance at 625. So watch that on this morning. Other than that, the targets are 629.98 and then the gap left behind from the 3rd of November, which is 632.08. Very key support coming in around yesterday's close, 623.52 area. The Bitcoin closing above this peak. Still keep it on his channel, but I am watching Advanced Clear Path. I talked about that on Futures Edge yesterday. Go watch the replay. I said what my targets are, as long as this does not have a big reversal. That's where we sit. TD has gone parabolic. And then I have to run, but we will be back tomorrow. Toronto Dominion Bank, yes. Toronto Dominion Bank. So, would not be shorting that into this. Would be looking for potential some kind of change in momentum, but again, any pullback would be into the weekly rotation zone. All right, with that, let's just peek in S&P. Oh, did that tick off 68? All right. So 4-hour rotation zone, not much else to talk about. Remember, there's a pretty big resistance shelf up here closer to 6,900, so mind that. NASDAQ, already pullback in the open, 25,600. With that, I will talk to everyone tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful trading day. Again, prayers for Sterling and his mother. And we will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.